It's like I don't know how to use a computer.
If you don't know how to use a computer, then none of us do. So just gonna lay that out there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's good enough. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to You Don't Know Jack. We are the Outsiders Looking In. My name is Chris Brown.
And I'm Hubert Maitland.
And I'm Randy Hart.
And we're recording on April 27th, 2020. This is season 3, episode 9, if I've got that correct. And we want to wish a very happy birthday to the one and only Randy Horton.
Randy.
Yes,
Happy
indeed.
birthday,
Yes,
man.
indeed, man. Yeah. They say you're not supposed to tell your age on here, man, but I'm going to give it out there, man. I'm 4'3", man. 4'3".
4'3"?
That's what I ran at back in high school. 4'3".
What a
Okay.
lie. What a lie.
Mm.
What a lie.
I mean, I can do it right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to sock them up, because I ain't finna lace them up. You know what I'm saying?
I got my cleats in the car right now, so we can go.
Well, I got my socks on right now, so I'll run you with some socks. So I'm just saying.
Good luck.
Guys, once the quarantine is over, I expect to see a lot of battles between you two, especially that 4'3", Randy. Got to see that 4'3" at 43 years old.
Hey, can we put some money on it? Can we do something like that? Because I want to make sure. I want to make sure I win this thing. I'm gonna take your car.
Really?
I'm
car,
take both your cars. I'm gonna take
wow.
TV. I'm gonna take your
Okay.
Slips, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna take your PS4, PS3.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm going to all your audio that you got. You know what I'm saying? I want definitely on all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely go get your cars, both of them. Make sure of that.
I mean, you can take them both. You gonna have the payments.
No.
No.
You know, I write up a repo slip or something. I'll find something, anything to make sure that I'm out of the loop for making payments.
Well, guess what? That car won't be yours for long then if you ain't making no payments. Because I ain't gonna make no payments if I ain't got the car.
I'll hide it. Trust me. There's a lot of places where you can hide cars.
All right. Well, I just got
saying.
off the rails real quick, but okay.
Yes, sir. It's
I was just going to let you guys go, you know? I mean, hey, we don't need
Mr. Moderator. You're going to have to moderate. I'm sorry.
Chris, I apologize because anytime me and Hubert get together, it never goes well, man. It never starts off well. It ends up where we taking jabs at each other. You know, It's like how Mike Tyson did Leon Spinks in the day. One hit a quitter. You know what I'm saying? He laid him out pretty good, couple of seconds. You know, I'm just saying. You know,
I know you feel like that dude on the ground whenever we spar. So it's okay. You can admit that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You can.
I don't know what she put in the cake, but he's on one today.
He's on one
today.
On one.
Listen,
he might be on 3. I don't know. He may be on 3.
Hey, it's all chocolate cake, baby. It's all chocolate cake.
All chocolate cake. Listen, guys. Everyone has an opinion when it comes to sports, but I think that we should sit back, relax, and enjoy the uncertainty of sports and entertainment around the world because I don't know and you don't know Jack. All right. So, as we've been saying for the past, 2-3 weeks, month, whatever, however long it's been, man, the coronavirus has just stopped everything in its tracks, including sports. The sports world was one of the first industries to kind of shut down, lock down, no games, no fans, just basically trying to wait out the virus. So there's not a ton of things to get to, but thank God there were 2 drafts in the last 2 weeks that we can at least talk about and kind of get some insights into, especially the NFL draft that happened this past weekend, I guess Thursday through what, Saturday, was it?
Yeah.
Thursday through Saturday?
Yes.
Through Saturday.
But we are going to start off with the WNBA draft. For me, this is not something that I usually usually tune into. Every now and then I know of one or two top talent female basketball players that are going to enter into the draft, so I'll try to catch that. But this was special and unique in a lot of ways because this was the first virtual draft that was done in the United States. Back in the day, drafts used to be done like over the phone and stuff like that. So we've done low tech drafts before, but this was a completely virtual draft. The commissioner of the WNBA was at home announcing draft picks, and to open up the 2020 WNBA draft, there were actually 3 honorary draft picks, and you may recognize the names. So there was Gianna Bryant, Kobe Bryant's daughter, Alyssa Altobelli, and Peyton Chester. Those are the 3 basketball girls, potential stars that were training at the Mamba Sports Academy, and they lost their lives in the helicopter crash. I believe it was around January 20th of this year.
27th, I believe, yeah.
27th of this year. Okay. Yeah, and so the WNBA was nice enough. I don't know what you want to call it, but they had a very nice piece where they were saying that these particular female basketball players were going to be the future of the NBA. They loved basketball. They were fierce competitors, and I just think it was a nice gesture. What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, it's always a nice gesture to honor those that are fallen, especially those that are innocent. It is hard. It is tough to. We should never have to do this.
No,
pretty much, especially when it comes to little kids that are barely in their teen years now. Like it's something that you just don't want to see. You just don't want to have this kind of memory, this conversation, any of that. So
you want them to be there.
Exactly, and it would have been even better if they were actually drafted in, I'd say probably about 8 to 10 years.
Well, they were 12 and 13, so about 10 years or so, depending on college. Who knows?
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be wonderful. It would have been a wonderful conversation to actually say Gigi was drafted to, but what the WNBA did was remarkable. I commend them for honoring the 3 fallen girls, and at the end of the day, all we can do is speculate how they would be, and just remember how well they played, their passion for the game, and go on from there. We've got to keep their memory alive somehow.
Yeah, they had some very touching tributes from all three families, and that was heartfelt. Vanessa Bryant just talked about her daughter that passed away and how she was just a fierce competitor like her father, and just couldn't wait for a day like today. Unfortunately, she can't be there, but the honorary draft pick was definitely a very nice thing to do. Randy, you as a father of daughters, how does this strike you?
Well, it's tough because when this whole thing had unraveled with Kobe, Gianna, and Peyton, passing away, kind of passing away the way that they did, it hit home because it's like these young girls had life in front of them. Their whole entire lives is right there in front of them. They love to play basketball. They had a passion for it. They put in the work. They put in the hours daily. They was around some good players, a lot of knowledgeable basketball superstars, and so it's like being a father. Like so many dads and so many mothers. Just as a parent in general, when you lose when you lose your baby, your child, it's tough. It is. You give anything to have them back. And these 3 young ladies, man, they will not be forgotten. Their memories will live on. And to piggyback off you guys, you know, the women's NBA, they did an excellent job, fantastic job by honoring these girls. Because there's so many young girls like them today that's walking in that path, walking in their shoes, you know, trying to be like them, trying to get to the next level. And, you know, so hopefully any young girl that's coming up playing basketball, they'll want to, you know, strive, do their best, put in the work, and be grateful for an opportunity, because this life that we live is so short-lived. You know, it's, you never know. And so my heart goes out to those parents. And like I said, the women's NBA did an excellent job. And, you know, it's touching, man. It's I can't find the words, man.
Yeah. And it's very touching.
It's very touching.
It's funny. Well, I guess it's not funny, but I just kind of completely forgot. I remember seeing the highlights of the WNBA draft, or kind of like the headlines on ESPN. And when they mentioned the honorary draft picks, I was like, oh, that's just a great thing to do. Like, you know, with everything that's going on in 2020 has just not been anybody's year. So it's just a great thing to do. But we'll leave that and go on to the future WNBA stars that were selected. I'm just going to run through the top 5 really quick. I definitely want to highlight the number 1 pick, Sabrina Ionescu of Oregon. She is a senior guard. I think she's 5'10", I believe. Set all types of records. 5'11" guard. Set all types of records at Oregon.
I could take her.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey,
really?
one-on-one.
I'm just saying.
Really?
I got that outside jumper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. She reminds me a lot of like a girl version of, a woman version of.
Thank you, woman version.
Hey, Chris.
The guard from Dallas. What's the guard from Dallas's name? Oh my goodness, Luka Doncic.
Doncic, yeah.
Yes,
hey,
Luka Doncic.
Listen. He don't want that smoke from her, man. Let's. You know, I'm not gonna blow past what I just heard. Okay, we're not gonna do that. What I heard out of his mouth is that he said, "You can do what, Hubert? Say it one more time."
I could take her.
You can take her.
If Sabrina wants to come over here and you play one-on-one, I'm always ready. Ball is life. # ball is life.
Wow. That's an awesome quote coming from a guy who will be out of breath within 5 seconds. Trust me. You don't want that smoke. You know, I'm not saying that you're not capable. I'm just saying the fact that you're going to step on the court and with a true baller. I'm not saying that you're not a baller. I like your game. I've seen you play. But you talking about, how tall is this chick? How tall is she?
She's Sabrina Ionescu. She is 5'11". She averaged 18
5'11".
points for her career, 7.3 rebounds, and 7.7 assists. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough one.
I'm good.
Listen, I'm 6'1.5". Okay?
We will tweet it out and see exactly what Sabrina says, because I feel like, you know, she had that Mamba mentality. She was connected to Kobe and what he was doing with the Mamba Sports Academy. So
hey, I just want ESPN to be out there to witness an upset. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to do. Is witness.
They're going to witness
Get
an
upset.
Yes,
they're going to witness.
That's not an upset if she kicks my butt. That's not an upset. I'm saying I would be an upset if I kick her butt. So that's all I'm saying.
They're going to witness you get upset, walking away with your head down, with your towel wrapped around your neck.
Sir,
I just got my
ran
off the court.
I am a guy that's sitting behind a desk right now. She's the WNBA professional. So if I lose, I ain't worried about it because I'm not supposed to lose. I'm not supposed to win anyway. So
hey, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I would want that smoke right now, man. It's
I want that smoke, you know why? Because quarantine is very much boring right now. I want something else. I want something different. So as soon as this quarantine is over,
man,
I want all the smoke. Okay,
hey, nah. I give it to you. It. I don't know.
It could be the next battle of the sexes, man. It could be the next battle of the sexes.
There you go.
I would watch. I'm not gonna lie. I would pay to see it. I mean, then again, I would pay to see almost any sports now, but
now, exactly.
I would pay to see that. So I'm going to just finish up real quick.
Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her, man.
Definitely. Number 2, Dallas Wings selected Satu Sabali. She's also an Oregon forward coming out with her teammate Sabrina. Number 3, we got Lauren Cox from Baylor going to the Indiana Fever. She's a forward. And we got number 4, Chenedy Carter from Texas A&M. She's a guard going to the Atlanta Dream. So we might be able to check that out. And then number 5, Phoenix traded to the Dallas Wings. And the Dallas Wings got Bella Alari from Princeton. She's a guard/forward, averaged 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2.5 assists in her career at Princeton.
Can I go ahead and say one thing? You did an exceptional job.
I was about to say
the
same thing.
Exceptional job. Like there's no way I could have done that. So hats off to you.
I mean,
hats off to all the vowels and all those names. My brother, because my friend, I would have jacked those names up. That would have been the end of that.
You just got to say it with confidence. I have no idea if I said those names correctly. And to any of the WNBA players
we're
that
sorry.
I just called out, we're sorry.
We apologize.
You know, we really got to get somebody on the podcast as a guest one of these days.
I mean, we have virtual technology now. We can do this.
Exactly. We can do this. That's next up for us. That's next up. All right, but moving on from the WNBA draft, we have some very sad news. Some very, very sad news. The NBA playoffs were supposed to start like a week ago. And as you know, we are in this whole coronavirus lockdown for at least next, week or two?
Here in Tennessee, it's starting to lift. It started to lift
4 phases.
Monday.
It's 4 phases to this thing. So right now we're in the first phase, and so I think by next week they're gonna kind of go to phase 2.
Right.
And it's kind of I want to say on a weekly basis till this thing is lifted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll see what happens, but the news out of the NBA right now is that as local states, local cities decide to lift the lockdown, basically what they're going to do is allow the teams to practice in their facilities. Although the NBA did just release a press release. They released a press release, say that 10 times in a row. So they released something today that said most teams will not be allowed to go back before May 8th. So that's in about a week or a week and a half from now when we're recording. So May 8th is the target date for players to return to facilities and start practicing. However, that does not include coaches. That does not include large groups. I think they said they want to limit it to about 5 or so players at the facility at a time. The NBA is just really taking precautions at this point. I think they don't want another incident, a Rudy Gobert-like incident. And they would like to start up, their original target date was sometime in mid-June. So we'll see what happens over the next month or so. What are the odds, Randy? What are the odds that the NBA actually stays, all of the players stay healthy and they start reopening and trying to finish the regular season and the playoffs in June?
Odds, I don't have numbers for odds. It's kind of hard to say. It depends on what you've been doing and this whole, quarantine thing is how you taking care of your body. It's quite funny that you say that. I was on YouTube or whatnot, and then I was watching how LeBron was doing some home exercises. This dude is in excellent shape.
Oh yeah, he takes
I
care of
don't
his
know
body.
how some of the things that he was doing at home, I guess it becomes a mental thing.
Yeah.
And I think that it depends on what you're doing at home. I mean, a lot of players are just doing family stuff. A lot of players are doing business type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of players will want to get back on the basketball court, and so I pray that they have been doing, routine exercises, getting a lot of running, doing a lot of things to keep their body in shape. Because once the NBA gets back started, and the way that they're talking, that with some of these states hoping to open their doors, next week to give some of these guys a chance to get in, some injuries may occur. And I don't, as fans, we don't want to see that.
No.
We don't see nobody get hurt.
Nope.
But these guys have the means at home, just like we do, but they have bigger means, meaning that they get paid enough to have these things in their home, in times like this, and exercise. And so I don't want to see I don't want to see nothing happen to them. But so we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's obviously the issue where, no matter how much you work out at home, you're never truly in game shape unless you're playing games.
No. You are, well, and you know what? I should have said that. They have to work themselves back into game shape. That's basically what I'm saying. That's how you're going to prevent injuries.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so if you're not in game shape, and this is going to be the whole NBA, right? It's not just one particular team. It's not one particular player. If you're not in game shape, you just got to play games, and so that means that the NBA would have to have some sort of regular season before any type of playoffs start. So Hugh, what do you think the biggest deal is, or what the biggest issue is right now? Right, you have injuries as a concern. You have the coronavirus as a concern. You have whether or not you want to finish the full regular season or just cut it short. What do you think the commissioner, Adam Silver, and the rest of the NBA players are thinking right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now is Corona. Everything is Corona right now.
Yeah.
It's the uncertainty of what this virus can do, what it can do long term, because we still don't know what the effects are of it long term. Some people say scarring of the lungs. Some people say, and I read a report this afternoon saying that there could be, now I don't know if this is proven out, but it could lead to more people being more susceptible to blood clotting. So there's just a lot of uncertainty with what this virus can actually do once you have it. But at the end of the day, Randy was correct by saying, and we said that about the NFL too. If there's no training camp for the NFL, what are the odds that these players, when they get on the field, they get injured at a higher rate because they haven't been able to practice like they usually do, get in game shape like they usually do? Because practice is very important. Practice is where you simulate a game, and so if you can't get those kind of reps, if you can't get your body to get somewhat in shape, I know running and exercise and workouts, especially like those higher intensity workouts, they can do a lot, but nothing replaces scrimmage games. Nothing replaces actual game speed. The fact that you have to use the muscles, the fast twitch muscles in your body to actually simulate what you're going to do in a game. And that is where injuries happen, because it's like somebody not playing any sports for 2 or 3 years and then coming out there all of a sudden trying to be the same way he was when he was playing in high school or college. You think it's going to work out very well? It's not. Somebody's going to get hurt. So at the end of the day, the major concern, the number one concern is the coronavirus, making sure as little people as possible contract the coronavirus. And the second major thing that I say 1B, is making sure that these players have adequate amount of time to practice, amount of time to warm up, get their bodies back into some kind of game shape to be able to play at that high level. And that's where the commissioner and all these experts that are getting paid big time dollars to make these decisions need to take that into account.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Very, very well said. Very well said. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I mean, we're just talking about the NBA, but like you said, the NFL is supposed to be starting training camp soon. Major League Baseball was supposed to have opening day like over a month ago at this point, or I think it was end of March, right?
Yep.
So yeah, about a month ago. NHL supposed to be going. MLS supposed to be going. So yeah, again, all over the world, sports leagues have been stopped in their tracks. I think we are going to see some of them come back without fans, of course, but they will come back. And I'll be waiting for that day. I'll be like, yo, can we podcast tonight? Because we have actually some live sports to watch for once in a very long time. We always take it for granted.
Yeah, we'll just stream it on our website, because that's how excited we will be.
Absolutely.
And you know what, man? Like I said, I mean, a couple episodes ago we talked about how we was watching old highlights. I sat down yesterday and I was watching the Heat versus the Spurs. From years past. I watched a couple of boxing matches from with Mayweather and Mike Tyson. So all of these highlights, and then of course now I'm pretty sure we're going to touch on this. I've been watching that Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. So yeah, it's I can't wait. If we get to that, I got a lot to say about that. But right now, I mean. We have to enjoy what we have in front of us, because, like I said, we don't want to rush anything back. That's why these owners, these NBA teams, from NBA to Major League to soccer, nobody's rushing this thing back, because a lot of people are saying that we're money driven, but at the same time, all these players, they have a lot of investment in them, so. Mm-hmm. You don't want to rush one of your superstars back too soon, and then all of a sudden, trying to work themselves back into game shape and get hurt. And that's the last thing you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm glad you brought up The Last Dance. I actually have not seen it, so no spoilers yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yet.
Just gonna be honest with you, because I've been.
Wait.
Hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain. I have been studiously.
Kevin Hart, let me explain.
I have been. Yes, it is. Right now, this is Hubert Maitland's.
You don't know, Jack. Let me explain.
This is Hubert Maitland's. Let me explain. I have been studiously trying to learn a new software, and so all I've been doing for the past couple weeks now is learning this software. So I haven't.
Listen, Hubert. I get that. I get that, sir. And because I'm going to get to you, but Hubert. You know what? I'm gonna get to both of you. This don't make any sense whatsoever. We're talking about Michael Jordan. We're talking about Michael Jordan, the greatest man of all time in any sport right now.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Any sport right now. Well, for us NBA.
Do you want this video to be put out at a high level when we get done with this, sir? Do we want this? That's what I've been learning, sir. So
you know what, sir? You know what? The fact that you two have not been watching this documentary, you know what? Shame on you.
Hey, Chris.
Shame.
Chris.
Yes.
I don't think he understands.
I can't even find the words.
I don't think he understands that there are episodes that we can go back and actually watch. See, there's a thing called going back and watching all these episodes.
I get that.
I don't have to watch it the day it came out.
But right now,
I do have no excuse.
Rating thing on TV right now.
I know everybody is just dying for something interesting, something to capture their imagination because there are no live events at the moment. So everybody's talking about it. So I've heard things and so on and so forth. I've heard about Jordan and Pippen. I do want to talk to you about that. Like it got so interesting. My uncle actually called me the other day and he was talking about how Scottie Pippen barely got paid anything. Did you see that part, Randy?
Yeah, I'm shocked. I remember that whole thing. Don't get me wrong. I remember everything going down in that fast. I remember every bit of that. But, you know, I didn't know that the contract was for 7 years, $18 million. That man got robbed. Not only did he get robbed, I guess in that time, in that era, you had to take whatever money was on the table in order to stay in position to be you know, a superstar. But Pippen, you know, what people fail to realize that, you know, his game was so at a high level. And
he developed into a top-notch defender.
He did. And I admit, I'm not gonna lie, I would have probably took that $18 million, but I don't know what would have done it for 7 years.
Well, it's just one of those things. The money was a lot different. I mean, when you look at contracts like $205 million is, I think, what Steph got recently for 4 years or something like that, 4 or 5 years. So the money is completely different nowadays. And you have Jordan to thank for that, obviously. But Scottie Pippen, I think he was like, I've never seen that much money. And he had, you know, family members he needed to take care of. And so I totally get why somebody in his position would take that money. We've had this conversation, I feel like, Hugh, a lot of times where it's just like certain people from certain backgrounds just tend to take the money. Even if the money isn't great, they tend to take the money. And, you know, when you hear a couple $1 million, I'm going to be a millionaire, you see that contract, it's just you end up signing on the dotted line and not really thinking about investing in yourself or betting on yourself to get a bigger contract down the line, or waiting to get the right deal.
Well, I mean, some of the players actually play for the love of the game, and some players want the money. Now, I'm not saying that Michael Jordan was the kind of guy that didn't have the love of the game. He clearly was passionate about the game. He was always betting on himself. He always, you know, he thought nobody else could beat him, and it proved out to be the fact that, you know, after the first few seasons, nobody could beat him. So, at the end of the day, I mean, you could say Jordan was an outlier, but I mean, Scottie, he was very talented, and he had the love of the game, so he didn't put up a fuss. Nowadays, the players nowadays, if you tried any of that, you would probably find yourself with a player that's going to sit at the house on his PS4 playing.
But I think that they know a lot more too. I'll say that information is now available for the players. They know that, you know, what their worth is. They know how to build their brand. So even if they're not getting it on the court, they're not getting the money through the team as their salary,
endorsements and everything else.
Endorsements and
there
are different avenues now.
Yeah, and like I said, the times are different. The times are different, and back then, Pippen, you know, like I said, you had to take that money that was on the table, but on the back end of that, it was a lot of issues that came with that $18 million too. You know, the owner Jerry Krause, you know, if once you guys take the opportunity at some point to go back and watch one of the first 2 episodes of that, you're going to be really amazed at the whole outcome of this thing. And you know, then you're going to see how owners really are when it comes to nickel and diamond players. And Jerry Krause, at this, during that time frame, he was ego driven. And, I don't want to spoil a lot of it for you guys, but
please don't.
I think that Pippen had enough of that. I think that as you would see in them documentaries, Jordan had enough of that. So I don't want to go too much because I've seen the first 4 episodes of this thing.
3 and 4 came out last night, I believe.
Yes. I watched it and whatnot, and man, Jordan, like I said, you see a side of him that you had never seen before. But man, I didn't. I'll just go off on the limb. I didn't know Jordan had a foul mouth like that. I didn't know Jordan did all that. My goodness.
I did.
A moment of silence for him.
I did.
Somebody needs their mouth washed out with soap.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan in that era.
He was a fierce competitor. Trash talker.
Time with him. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting watch. I'm probably going to end up watching 1 through 4 this week. And I'm a binge watcher, so I can't just watch 1 episode or 2 episodes.
Please get Hubert on that bandwagon.
I think it's like 8 episodes, and so I'm going to go through.
Well, you know how I am about watching movies, shows, anything like that. I don't really do much of that as much as I should. Now, if it was something like medieval movies or Game of Thrones, yes, that'd be great. But documentaries kind of escape me unless it's very interesting. So I have to get into it. So I will say I will give it a shot. I will because it's sports and we have a sports podcast, so that's obviously the parallel. So
wow.
At the end of the day,
greatest player of all time.
That's it.
Of all time. And,
I can't wait.
You gonna pass him up for a Game of Thrones?
No, Game of Thrones is over, sir. Anyways, are you gonna watch the Tom Brady story when that comes out? Because that's coming out too, right? That's coming out.
If Tom Brady wins with these Bucks, man, we got to get into the NFL. But yeah, if Tom Brady wins with these Bucks, he might be the greatest of all time.
That's what I keep saying. What was my mantra for the whole thing? Look. No, Randy, you've heard what I said a long time ago. I said if somebody wins with one organization for that long, okay, I get it. That's great. His system works. But it's a true testament to their greatness if they leave a team, go somewhere else, and win a championship. That's what I've said about LeBron. That's what I said about Michael. That's what I'm saying about Tom Brady.
Yep.
Listen.
I'm not going to say he's better than Jordan, but he's the greatest of all time in football. Like he would take the crown over Joe Montana or anybody like that.
Yeah. I get that, but I ain't nobody watch no documentary on no Tom Brady, man. Let's make that big clear.
He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT in the NFL. Why would you not watch it?
And have you seen his wife?
She's a troublemaker. Have you seen the way that she? I mean, don't get me wrong. You did a ride or die chick. I get that.
Giselle's a ride or die.
Have a ride or die chick, and then it's another thing to have a wife that'll take everything you got.
Giselle's not that type of person. Giselle has.
She's not the type of person.
She got more money than him.
Exactly. Giselle is worth more money than Tom Brady. Why would she want his stuff?
Because the fact that she's a woman and the fact that she has a little bit of
we apologize to all the women out there for
these
comments.
No. Well,
I am not.
I think this is a good time to mention that you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
I don't know if that was a great time.
Podcast.
Listen. I'll make sure
Randy wants all the smoke.
Exactly. Everybody, all the women that want to get back and tweet Randy because we have nothing to do with that.
Listen. Let me go back and tweet that just a little bit. Let me clean this up.
You better clean it up. This is the podcast we're talking about. You better clean that junk up.
Yeah. Let me clean this up. The fact that a woman like her, okay, granted, she does have, the money more than Brady. Okay, I get that. Okay, but at the same time, Brady, how can I clean this up? Brady cannot make no kind of mistakes in a situation like that, okay? Because the fact that he has a wife that speaks the way that I'm not for sure if you guys ever heard her come out and defend Brady.
Oh, yeah.
But she's very direct.
Mm-hmm.
She brings a little bit of smoke to that situation.
Yep.
So the fact that she has the ability, like any other woman, you don't want to cross boundaries with them on that level and think that just because she's 300 million more than you don't think that she don't have a small chance of taking your stacks with her too? That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Tom Brady doesn't have to be on his best behavior. I'm not
yes,
saying
he
that,
does.
But
yes, he does.
He definitely has to. He definitely has to.
He about to be in a house at 10 p.m. on the dot, and no later than that.
Yeah, she has the passcode to his phone. She definitely does. But yeah, so, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, y'all are bypassing the fact. Y'all are bypassing the fact that he may be a one of a kind husband. You know, he's a guy that always is taking care of her, who wants to always make sure she's happy. Like, I mean,
yes.
Why are we going to the fact that he has to be on his best behavior? He's
way
Tom
to be
Brady.
progressive.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Listen. If the world's watching this, I apologize for my mistake.
We're about to get canceled in episode 2 of our video series.
Exactly. And you
about
to get us fired from YouTube.
Remember, this is You Don't Know Jack.
All the women, I apologize. I tried to clean it up, okay? I'm sorry.
I just let you know it didn't work.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm trying to clean it up.
It didn't work. Yeah, you just dug yourself a deeper hole. That's all you did.
I probably did, but I'm sorry.
We should probably move on. Move on.
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, let's get into the hot topic of the week. So this is a big one. The NFL draft, one of the most highly rated TV shows in the last month or so. I wonder why. It happened Thursday night. Started off with round 1 Thursday night, and I just kind of want to go through a couple of these. How do you guys feel about this? You want to go through all top 10 or top 5? Or
no? Let's go through our team's draft picks, because I have a controversy on my end. That's all I'm saying. What's controversy on my end?
Well,
he has a big controversy
on my end. That joint right there, I'll tell you what.
He has a fat one on his end.
Woo!
For once, I don't have a controversy on my end.
I think the Bengals won everything. They just won everything.
Thank you. Yeah. This may be the only win of the season, so I'll take it. Not with
Joe Burrow. You got a championship on your docket.
Yeah, man. So the Cincinnati Bengals drafted number 1, the one and only QB from LSU, Joe Burrow. I'm super excited about this. He is a kid from Ohio, so hopefully he takes that to heart. He'll be playing in Cincinnati, about 2 hours away from Akron.
Yeah,
I don't know, but he's close. He's close to where he used to live in Ohio. He's a big believer in making change in some of the neighborhoods that are impoverished. And so anyways, that's the off the field stuff. On the field, I think he's a great fit for what Cincinnati needs to do. We need to get rid of Andy Dalton. Obviously, I assume Andy Dalton will either try to go to another team or just be backup, whatever. We've had enough of the Andy Dalton era in Cincinnati. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a Christian, good, decent person, decent player. But we need somebody with a little more fire, a little more competition, or just like a fiery spirit. Andy Dalton had red hair, but Joe Burrow is really going to take us to the next level. I'm excited about that. So you're saying that red hair, AJ Green bat.
So you're saying that red hair doesn't bring the fire? Because it looks like fire.
Hey man, they called him the Red Rifle. A lot of people compared him to like Goku from the Dragon Ball Z cartoon series.
He could power up.
Exactly. But Andy Dalton was not the guy that we needed. He definitely wasn't. Joe Burrow, I think, QB of the future. If we get the right weapons around him, I'm just too excited. Well, I was texting my friend who was a Bengals fan. I was like, if they don't draft Burrow, I'm done with the Bengals. And they did it. So now, game's on. I'm excited.
Yeah, game's on. I mean, that was an excellent pick. It really was. And hopefully Burrow come in. Now, he has to compete for the job. Because Andy Dalton, he ain't going to go quiet. He ain't going to go quiet.
I don't know. Andy Dalton will go very quietly. He knows his time is up. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
I hear that. You know what I'm saying? I hear that. But we can't have a Jameis Winston scenario again where, I'm not saying that Joe Burrow is going to be the GOAT in Cincinnati, but what I'm saying is he's going to bring a lot to the table.
So you call Jameis Winston the GOAT?
No. I'm saying is the comment that he made by being replaced by the GOAT. And we had an episode where I said that from a player standpoint, I'm the best in my mind. I ain't giving you that title just yet. So what I'm saying with Andy Dalton in this situation, granted, yeah, he knows that on the back end he has to hit the exit, but he ain't gonna go quietly. You know what I'm saying? He will not go quietly. Now he may lose. He will lose the starting job. He will lose it, but at some point, like any other player, he has to go back and play his role, which is a backup quarterback. And so I would keep Andy Dalton on my roster for insurance purposes because this is a man's game. This is a dog-eat-dog world in the NBA. In the NFL. And Joe Burrow about to come in with that mindset because these guys are bigger, they're faster, and they're smarter. And this ain't college ball no more. This is a man's game. And Joe Burrow about to come out. He about to get that your boy from the remember the Titans Sunshine? He about to get that scenario out of his head. I'm gonna tell you right now. Get that out your mind frame and step on the field and be the quarterback, the number one draft pick they chose. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll say this about him. He seems like the most pro-ready quarterback I've seen in a while. And so
I don't know.
Just the way he plays. Where does Sam play? USC?
USC.
Oh, come on. That's Pac-12, man. Come on.
I know, but still the tools that Sam Darnold had, the instincts, the ability to push the ball down the field, that was NFL ready. Now, they didn't surround that guy with weapons like he should have been. I mean, Robbie Anderson is great. Yes. He's not great. He's a speedster. But I mean, you have to surround a guy like that with weapons. And now this year, the draft that the Jets had, I mean, there are like 4 or 5 teams that have won this draft. But I'll leave it. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I'm done. I'm excited that the Bengals made the right move. I was actually just looking up Pac-12 quarterbacks that actually did anything in the NFL. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that he's ready. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure to do well early on, which is not great for a young quarterback. But I just don't think he's Jameis Winston. I don't think he's Marcus Mariota. All of these young quarterbacks that we've seen, Baker Mayfield, I think that he's ready. I think he has the maturity around him. I think he's a good, humble kid. Yeah. He's hungry and he's got that fire in his stomach, and he's good to go, man. I'm excited. Number one, we did what we were supposed to do. I know Miami was trying to get that pick, but Miami, y'all just burning the heat, bro.
There you go. Well, Hugh, do you want to go? Do you want?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. My controversy is going to take a while, so you do your do you.
You got to talk about Tua though. You got to talk about Tua, Randy.
Yeah. You know what, man. Like I said, I'm, tuna fish. He's not my boy. Okay.
He was your boy.
He was your boy.
He was your boy. He brought you 2 championships.
Hey, he brought me 1 championship. But listen,
okay, he lost the other one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because he don't know how to move around instead of being a sitting duck. Got me screaming at my television, throwing popcorn, acting a fool in my living room because he can't move right to left and left to right.
All I'm saying is those wide receivers.
Can't stand there and be one-dimensional, man. You can't do that.
Hey, but when he moved, he got hurt.
All I'm saying is all those NFL-style wide receivers that he had, that track meet that he had over there, why couldn't they get open?
That's on him. He holding the ball too long.
I mean, I'm just saying they didn't get open. That's all I'm saying.
Listen. Once a receiver takes off and get to his 7 to 10 yards cut, he breaks off, you got to get the ball to him, man. You can't be sitting there, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, playing with these guys. You know, you'll get your head taken off, man. But listen, kudos to him. In my book, to go that high, kudos to him. In Miami, you know, they got a good one, okay? And I'm not knocking that. But what I'm saying is this. My Bama players that came off the board, kudos to Bama, Clemson, LSU, especially LSU. My goodness, 14 players?
SEC.
14 players? Insane, man. That's insane.
I had a question, though.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the SEC hate.
No, there's no hate. No hate.
I
just have a question.
I feel it.
So, in the SEC championship game.
Oh, here we go.
When
you knew it was coming.
I know it's coming.
Hold back. Hold on. When LSU quarterback, he had a phenomenal game, right? Mm-hmm. What did Tua do in that game? You remember what Tua do? What did Tua do in that game?
Against LSU?
Yes.
I mean,
wasn't he hurt?
He was hurt. He had surgery on his foot 2 weeks prior.
Wait.
3 weeks prior.
Tua, what's going on? You talking about this year or last year?
I'm talking about when they played in the SEC championship game. And LSU came out on top by what, 4 points?
Oh, man, he's talking about
Tua. Okay, I'm going to give you this. Tua threw for over 480 yards. He threw for 4 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. He literally was on the same level as Joe Burrow.
Chris,
I don't think Tua ever played in the championship game, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
the SEC championship.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he played.
He literally threw for over 400 and some yards.
Listen, Chris. He's stuck on the fact that we had a chance to win at the end. That's his whole mentality.
No, I'm saying, why is Tua not your guy when Tua has been just phenomenal?
Look at the mistakes that
he's been phenomenal the whole time he's been in Alabama.
Man, look at the mistakes in that game. Let's stick to that point real quick.
So you're not going to give the LSU defense credit?
I'm trying. Give me a chance. Look at the mistakes that Tua made in that game. Okay, look how we fell behind. Each time that LSU threw a punch, we would throw another one. It felt like it was a heavyweight fight. Starting out. But LSU was just too powerful, and at the end of the day.
But you, Alabama, you've been number one for what, 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row?
Yeah, but see, the mentality is when we get that far behind, we don't know how to let one play go. We're trying to get it all back in one play. We have to start milking it down play by play. We're trying to get it all back in one.
But you have home run hitters all over the field. Jerry Jeudy.
I don't need a home run hitter. I need
all the receivers are home run hitters.
Team that know how to play the game to get us back in the game. I don't need home run hitters, and that's the problem with Tua. He's a home run hitter, and that's why I was very surprised, even with the hip injury, the fact that he went so high. Now, like I just said, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And when he get to Miami, he's gonna, they're gonna get this man. They're going to put him on a pedestal, okay? And that's fine. That's for Miami because they ain't had a winning season in a decade. Whatever the problem is out there. Even the baseball team got problems. So to get a boy like him out there, that's fine. And once again, he wasn't my boy in the beginning. He did us a favor against the championship, but Hurts, who is now on your team, was my boy, okay? He's been my boy. All right. Now I said before, I watched Tua play in person. I watched his baby brother play in person. I don't like that, man. You have to see the whole field, bro. You cannot just turn left and throw left. You have to go through your progressions and see the whole field.
That is what Jalen Hurts did until he went to Oklahoma. He would look at a receiver. If that wasn't open, he would tuck and run. That was Jalen Hurts in a nutshell.
That's fine. Please do.
But you're saying you don't like Tua being able to not read the field. Jalen was the same way until he went to another team.
Let me say this. If the play's not there, extend the play. That's what I'm trying to say. Extend it. Okay?
He did that.
Tua, what? And he did what?
He extended the plays. There are many examples of Tua extending plays.
Against UTC teams, yes. But not against the biggest game
SEC competition.
On television.
SEC competition. He didn't do so well. He didn't do so well in the teams that had very good I would say containment. So like the game that he got hurt, I mean not the game he got hurt, the LSU game, that was an outlier, okay? But he still threw for 400 and some yards, 4 touchdowns. The fact that you said that you don't want home run hitters, the only reason why they were in that game is because of the home run hitters. LSU was throwing bombs down the field, getting touchdowns in 3 or 4 plays.
Okay.
Alabama will come right back 3 or 4 plays down the field, score a touchdown. Same thing. LSU back and forth. They made one mistake. It was one mistake I'd say maybe 2 mistakes where they had to punt. And that's what put them behind. But they still
he threw that ridiculous interception that he knew doggone well. He threw it. Man, look here. Listen, y'all would make me break my iPad dealing with this kid, man.
I'm just saying, I don't understand why you can hate on the guy that got you a championship that has had as much success as Jalen Hurts has had at his time at Alabama, and still say he's not the guy. He is a very talented guy.
No. He's a talented guy. He just wasn't my guy. Okay.
I mean, okay. But here's the thing. He has to be your guy, because I want to make this clear. Tua barely played in any SEC championship game. The last 2 SEC championship games, last 3. 2019 was LSU versus Georgia. Alabama wasn't there. 2018, Alabama versus Georgia. Tua got hurt in the first half, and Jalen Hurts is the one that ended up coming back and beating Georgia, because Georgia looked like they were about to win that. And Alabama came back with Jalen Hurts, and they were able to get the SEC championship game. Year before that, it was Auburn versus Georgia. So Alabama really hasn't been years before that, they were dominant. But as far as Tua is concerned, and as far as Jalen is concerned, really and truthfully, you got to say Jalen had a better college career in some ways.
I agree with that.
He did.
I agree with that.
Right? In terms of championships.
But then again, Tua inherited the team that Jalen had. So at the end of the day, because if you remember, Tua came in at the second half of the championship game that helped them win that championship game. And then the next season, I believe it was when Clemson came in and whooped them. So
and that's the thing. Tua didn't play in any big games besides maybe the Iron Bowl or something like that. Like he's been hurt. He's been hurt his whole career.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
But what is his record? This guy has just as many wins. He's been phenomenal in the SEC regular season. He's gotten his team there. He's had the success. So I mean, how can he not be the guy?
Okay, so we're saying for those who don't know, Tua Tagovailoa was taken by the Miami Dolphins at number 5. I just don't think he has enough, especially coming off of that hip injury. I don't think he has enough to win any significant games this year, and I don't think Miami has enough for the enough weapons for him to do any damage. They're not making it to the playoffs.
Oh, they're not. Yeah, they're not gonna start Tua. I'll put it like this: they still got.
Why not?
They still got Fitzmagic.
Why not?
They still have Fitzmagic. They have Fitzmagic, and they're gonna give Tua the opportunity to get completely healthy. They don't have to rush him in.
They didn't want
They're already a abysmal team, but they have. That's one of my teams. The teams that I saw in the draft that was partially able to win the draft because they made some really good picks. They had I think 10 or 12 picks.
They did.
They just took player after player and just kind of dominated the draft throughout the nights.
Well, not only that, they're trying to build that team around Tua because they know your boy Patrick ain't gonna be there. Okay, but the fact that they took him so high is for them to show any veteran quarterback like Fitzpatrick that you're not going to be here long term. And so with the short time that he has with Tua, he's just going to get this young man ready because they drafted him high to want to put him in position to start him.
But you also got to remember that they didn't even want him. Miami was trying to trade up as hard as they could. They wanted Joe Burrow.
Yeah, they wanted Joe Burrow. But like I said, they got who they got. But we'll see.
I'm surprised they didn't go for Justin Herbert, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Man, Jordan Love was out there.
Jordan Love, same thing, yes.
I was very surprised that Hurts and Jordan Love fell as far as they did.
Let's talk about that Hurts pick really quick. Let's because we mentioned it, but where did he go?
Jalen Hurts. Yeah, he went to my team.
His team.
He was a second round.
That's his problem now.
Number. Oh, I thought Jalen Hurts was your guy.
No. He is.
Oh, now the truth comes out.
No. He's your guy. But when I say that he's your problem now, I want to see how you tweak that because you was a Jalen Hurts hater before he got to Oklahoma.
Exactly. I didn't like the style of play that he had.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I did not like the style of play.
But he's a Tua fan. I don't get that.
Tua's way more accurate. Tua has a way better arm than Jalen Hurts.
Exactly. And then when he went to Oklahoma and I saw what Lincoln Riley did with Jalen Hurts and and the improvement that he had, that's when I got on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. I was like, he can actually play in the NFL at the next level as a quarterback. If he was going to be at the same level that he was at Alabama does not develop quarterbacks.
No, not at all.
The best thing that they can do is they can put out wide receivers and running backs. That's the best they have all day.
Well, and linemen.
Defensive linemen, linebackers. Like Alabama can do every position right except for quarterbacks. That's how they win.
Except for quarterback. They just, for some reason, they can't produce a quarterback. And that's another reason why Tua may not amount to anything.
But then again, Tua was an outlier because of the way that he played at Alabama. Like, that's the reason why I like Tua because besides the odds that he had, this guy – he broke records. So this guy is an incredible thrower of the football. He's accurate. He knows how to read. I know that you don't agree with that. He knows how to read.
He's decent.
He knows how to read defense.
Let's quit. Hey, listen. Let's quit talking about Tua. I'm gonna drop my freaking iPad, man.
I do. Okay, so we'll drop Tua. Yeah, go back to Jalen. Go back to Jalen.
So I don't have a problem with the way that we drafted Jalen Hurts. My problem is that we drafted Jalen Hurts too high. That is my problem. That's the only issue I have with that pick. If we could have got him in later in the third round or in the fourth round, that would have been perfect for me because I wanted Jalen.
He wouldn't have sat there. He wouldn't have sat there.
21st pick in the second round.
And that's fine. But a second round pick needs to go to somebody that will they had a plethora of cornerbacks on the board, safeties on the board, wide receivers that we need on the board, even running backs. I would have taken J.K. Dobbins. I would have taken one of the A.J. Dillard. He was still there on the board, I believe. by the time that we had that second round. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was gone way before that. That's the guy I completely wanted.
Ooh, the Colts got him, boy. Lord have mercy.
The Colts are going to be beast this year. But I just had a problem with the timing of the pick. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a phenomenal addition to the team. I think he's a hard worker. I think he's going to be able to catch up, get up to speed really quick. And the fact that Carson has yet to prove that he can be healthy
for a whole season.
He has been. He was healthy for the 16 regular season games. That's a step.
Yeah, and then when did he get hurt? Immediately after the 16 games.
Here's the thing. I don't consider that his fault because to me, that's an illegal hit. So you can't spear somebody on the back when they're going down. That's just
no.
That's just an illegal hit.
Yeah, it was a concussion.
And that to me is not Carson Wentz's fault.
Wait, Carson didn't miss a game at all?
He did not. He played all 16 games this year.
Oh, okay.
But see, the Eagles can use Jalen Hurts in a way like the Saints have used what's his name? Jason Hill. And so that's a unique package for you guys. And I hope that you guys utilize him very well because
that's the key. That's the key.
And I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is going to come in and outplay Wentz because it's Wentz's job to lose. Flat out. It is his job to lose. And I guarantee you, if you guys start off kind of rocky, you're going to start hearing the boos around week 4, week 5.
That's just Philadelphia.
Those boos will not call for Jalen Hurts, though. I guarantee you they're not going to be put Jalen in. That's not what they're going to say.
You don't think so?
No, that's not what they're going to say.
If you see the majority of fans that have talked about this pick, they despise this pick. Mm-hmm. They really do. They don't think that Jalen Hurts is a guy that's going to give them productive. Because the thing is, they want a second round pick to be on the field 24/7. They want that guy to he's picked so high. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, when are we going to get a reliable backup quarterback like Nick Foles was to be able to carry us through to another if our team is actually doing pretty well? That's what Nick Foles was there for. He was a phenomenal backup quarterback. He got hot at the right time.
Andy Dalton may be available. Just saying.
Hey, you know what? He'll be a great starter in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Don't do that to your boy Julio.
You know what? I do that little cheap shot. I ain't worried about those Eagles who can't fly. You know what I'm saying? They sometimes they got.
That was the cheap shot.
Hey, Chris. Sometimes they got 2 wings. Sometimes they got 1. I don't know what's wrong with them Eagles out there. But listen though, real quick.
All I'm saying is, when we went to our Super Bowl, did we win or lose? I'm just saying.
Hey,
I mean, we didn't go up 28-3 and lose. I'm just saying.
Listen. You know what? I'll live with that loss. But here's my problem with Atlanta.
You have to.
Since we're talking about Atlanta, I asked for it. But listen, I have a huge problem with Atlanta. Okay, number one, they did not do well in this draft. They did not do well. They got 2 good, decent players that I like, and that was A.J. Terrell from Clemson and Marlon Davidson from Auburn. Now, Big Boy from Auburn is gonna give Matt Ryan some decent, he's gonna give a defense a new look on defensive end. And AJ being a cornerback is what we needed because our cornerbacks half the time they don't know how to get their heads turned around. You know how many times they running down the field and it's just looking at the receiver. Now I hate this idea. I'll look at the receiver's eyes or look at his hands. Man, just turn your body around, bro. I mean, how hard is that to just turn around, get a sneak peek at what's going on, and then but.
You do know that
I guess
as soon as that
I guess it depends on what type of package they're in.
It's not your wide receivers. It's not your wide receivers.
That's what I'm saying. The receivers are so good nowadays, especially with the speed that they have and the technique that they have. you have to play the wide receivers now. Like they're just that fast. They're getting faster and they're getting more advanced.
Okay. So if that's the case, then you look at some of your corners back, like your boy Sherman. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty decent. You look at, you go back in the day when Deion Sanders was doing his thing. You go all the way back from your boy, what's his name? I got a brain freeze with these cats
Darryl
right now.
Revis?
But yes. So it's guys like that in their during that time, they played the ball. They played the receivers. They had unique ways of understanding. And now, then again, I'm not taking anything away from the cornerbacks right now from Atlanta. I just have a problem with most of them just running down the field and just throwing their hands up like this, hoping and praying. And then it's a flag thrown on them. Then all of a sudden we're looking around, oh, is that me? Is that for me? That's just for you. Because you didn't get your head turned around, man.
You got some really nice receivers in Atlanta, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that simple. It's really not that simple.
I'm talking about the receivers. I'm talking about the cornerbacks.
Oh, the cornerback. Yes. Gotcha.
I ain't talking about the receivers. I'm talking about the cornerbacks.
Okay.
Is our cornerbacks are the ones that fail to get their heads turned around.
Gotcha.
Running down the field, man, and that's why they got burned. They get the flags they get, and they want to turn around and play Waldo. Oh, is that for me? Or that flag for me? That's what it was for you, because you failed to realize that the receiver ran right past you because you so out of place. I mean,
which shouldn't happen with their coach.
It should
They got Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a defensive coach. So
thank you.
I got you. But that's another reason why your picks are so kind of out there to me.
Yes.
Like I don't understand the picks that you made.
Well, I mean, what was AJ Terrell's 40 time? Do we have information on that? Because I think
it was a 4. It was a 4 point. I want to say it was either a 4.3 or 4.4. It was something around those lines.
Because the reason why I'm saying that, wide receivers are faster than that. Wide receivers, there are wide receivers. I mean, even the wide receivers that we drafted, I didn't even go through what some of the wide receivers that we drafted. The slowest wide receiver that we drafted on our team ran a 4.46. Everybody else was running a 4.3, 4. I mean, I think they said that one of the receivers, even a running back that we just picked up, that little, I don't know if y'all know the little dude from UCF, the little running back, Killings, I think it's his last name. Yes. He runs a 4.27. He's a running back.
Okay, so let me say this right here. Okay, so now you want to talk about wide receivers. Why was Jeffries sitting right there at that pick? Atlanta, they could have used another weapon.
Who, Atlanta?
Help Matt Ryan. Yeah, they could have used another weapon.
I agree with you. You have Calvin. You have Calvin Ridley. You have.
We lost our tight end.
Austin Hooper. Yes, you did.
Yes.
I have no answer. That is a question for the GM. That's a question for the coaching staff. I mean, it all depends.
When they got a backup quarterback somewhere. A quarterback to sit behind Matt Ryan and learn, because Hoyer he's finna go out to New England. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I think Cam Newton's going to New England, which would be an excellent addition to go to Atlanta, because that I mean they could use somebody of his talent. They could use somebody of Cam Newton's talent if he's healthy and that shoulder can get back to 100%. Because teaming him up with Julio Jones would be incredible.
But like I said, I mean, we got two good, decent, talents. This Jalen Hawkins from California, the safety. I don't know much about him, but apparently, he was picked around the 4th round. At 100 at pick 134, and then I don't see why we went and got another punter. I mean, what's up the punter we got?
Field position is important. I'm just saying, field position is super
if you want
important.
your defense to be stout and your offense to be stout, you need to believe in the players you got and don't go, picking guys for whatever reason. Because if you're gonna ride, here's the thing: if you're gonna ride Matt Ryan out until his contract expires, I mean, heck, go get a quarterback in the draft because Jordan Love was out there. You could have sat behind Matt Ryan.
But I think a lot of the quarterbacks that they were looking for, they believed in Matt Ryan. I think they still believe in Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan took them to a Super Bowl. Now I think that the next year's quarterback crop is still pretty decent. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is coming out next year. You're going to have some pretty decent quarterback play. So they might be betting on that. I don't know. I don't know what's, Dan Quinn is a defensively minded coach. So I don't know,
So that means you're going to have to trade up. That means you're going to have to get rid of a couple of draft picks and one of your best players, move up and get a Lawrence or somebody.
You probably will.
Maybe not. Atlanta may not be that good this year.
Exactly.
So
you never know. They might tank like Miami did last year.
Tank for Trevor.
Right. So you never know what their thought process is, and that's kind of the message I have for the Eagles fans when it came to the Jalen Hurts pick. I was like, you're not in the coaches meetings, you're not in the locker room with the players, you don't go to the combine and see these athletes play or talk to them behind the scenes, so you don't know what their game plan actually was. They might have thought Jalen Reagor, it was the best pick as their number one wide receiver. Great. If it works out, we have to wait until the end of the season to actually evaluate if that was the best pick or not. There's no sense getting mad over a second round pick. That's all I'm saying.
Anything is better than Aguilar, right?
You mean drop a baby?
Drop a baby.
Not Rockabye baby. It's drop a baby. Aguilar.
Nelson, drop a baby Aguilar.
Listen. We'll see what happens when the season gets started with this situation with Atlanta and all of this, man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
All I'm saying is
because this draft was deep. This draft to me was deep. A lot of talent came off the board. A lot of teams got what they needed, and so they better use these young guys, man, because these guys are ready. They hungry. They're ready to get it.
NFL.
All I'm saying is your Colts, Randy, your second team is going to be fire this year.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. They're going to be fire this year.
They will.
So wait, which team do you go for, Atlanta or the Colts?
Well, I grew up a Falcons fan. Okay, I grew up, when the Dirty Birds was doing that thing and all of that, and Deion Sanders and all of that, and
Jamal Sanders,
Anderson,
Anderson.
And then when Edgerrin James came along, I liked his game, and so. I started watching the Colts. I started watching them, pretty heavily. And so, I have family that grew up, out towards Indianapolis and all of that. And so, I quickly was attached to them as well. So over the years, I consider Falcons first and then the Colts second. So if I had to just go ahead and pick one, it'd just be flat out the Falcons, flat out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
and at least it's NFC and AFC, so you got no conflicts there unless you get to the Super Bowl. So real quick, the NFL draft, or excuse me, NFL.com has draft grades out for all 32 teams?
Yep.
Yes, 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Falcons overall grade is a B+. It says, basically you did what you needed to do at cornerback and defensive tackle and interior offensive linemen. So hopefully Matt Ryan can get some time to throw and you can get some coverage on the back end with the deep balls on defense. For the Philadelphia Eagles, got a overall draft grade of A-. Okay, Philly.
That is surprising to me. That is surprising.
A-.
Because everybody is still scratching their head about that Jalen Hurts pick. And that to me is a surprising pick.
But at least you got somebody, right? You had to address the situation that Nick Foles wasn't going to be there, McCown wasn't going to be there. Who else did you have on the roster at this point?
Nate Sudfeld, and he got hurt last season.
Go. At least Jalen Hurts gives you a fighting chance.
Right, and that's why we had to go pick up Josh McCown or whatever his name is. Old guy McCown.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, you guys did pretty good, A-, but I just got to say the Bengals got A for all 3 days, overall grade of A. We had obviously the pick of the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, #1.
You were the worst team last year, just saying.
From last to first, that's what I'm hoping for. You know what I'm saying? From last to first.
Well, y'all should ran 6 games this year.
No, I think they're going to go 9. I think the Bengals are going to win 9. I think with the additions that they have. I mean, who is your biggest wide receiver addition? I'm trying to think.
We got T. Higgins, bro.
Put him on the other side. Put him on the other side of AJ Green.
Yep.
That is
when I saw that pick, I was like, "Whoa!" Okay.
That is a squad that I am waiting to see improve.
And we need some solid tight ends and some better defense, and I think we got a squad, man.
Yeah.
I think you do. I mean, I only said 6 wins because you got to give these quarterbacks time to develop themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? This game is going to come. This game is going to come very quick. It's going to come very fast to them. And they have to take it one game at a time, man.
Yeah. Usually I like my quarterbacks to actually sit down and watch for a year, but in this particular situation, Andy Dalton has had years. I don't think the fans are going to want Andy Dalton to start this season.
Well, and I feel like that the Browns quarterback, what is his name? Baker Mayfield. He's not going to improve this year. He's actually going to regress this year. And I feel like especially with the ego that the Browns have with Odell Beckham Jr. and all that, it's just not going to be it's going to be another disappointing season in Cleveland. The Steelers, if Big Ben comes back, who knows what that team's going to do? And Baltimore is going to just run the AFC. That side of the AFC. So I see you winning about 8 or 9 games. I do see you winning 8 or 9 games.
Man, if we could just make it to the playoffs, I'll be happy. I want to start there. I want to start with low expectations. I want to be playoff bound we haven't been to the playoffs in years now. So
yeah.
All right. So guys, go ahead.
So I was just saying, who is going to be your top 3 teams that are going to come out of each conference? I want to kind of get a feel for that. If football actually does come back this year.
Well, football will definitely be back. I mean, it'll more definitely be back. I say my 3 top teams across the board is going to be
from each side, from the NFC side and the AFC side.
3 teams each?
Yeah, from each side.
Okay.
Your top 3 teams from each side.
All right. So, let's start with the NFC. So, of course, since y'all are defending champs or whatnot, I got to put you up there. You know what I'm saying? And so, you guys, you have, I'm going to throw – hey man, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with this, man.
Yeah, let me go real quick. I think I got something. Okay. I really like the Bucs and the NFC. I really like the Bucs. I think the Saints fall off a little bit.
Yes.
And I think Carolina falls off. So that whole NFC South is kind of out of there. So I really like the Bucs there. Sorry, Bucs are in the NFC South.
No. He's saying 3 teams from the NFC period.
Yeah, from the NFC period.
AFC period.
Yes.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought the Bucks were in the AFC. They're in the NFC South. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So NFC, I got Bucks. I got Eagles. I think that you have enough, especially since that division is probably going to be bad. I think you have enough to get to the playoffs and do some damage. So Bucks, Eagles, and then you got to go out west. And I think out west, San Francisco falls off. So maybe Seattle actually does something. When it comes to the AFC, I really want to see. Houston has fallen off in the AFC, so I want to see if the Colts can do something in that division. New England has fallen off because they no longer have Tom Brady. So, man, I don't even know that division is kind of wide open. I guess maybe the Bills have a chance there. But like Hubert said, the Ravens are definitely up there, and you can't forget about the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, so with that being said, I got the Chiefs, I got the Ravens, and then I got I'm gonna go off on a limb and I'm gonna say Buffalo. Okay. Okay. Because Buffalo had a decent season last year. On the NFC, of course, the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and then I'm gonna most definitely pick up the Vikings.
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the Vikings.
Well, the AFC, I don't think the AFC is as wide open as we think it is. I think there are two clear dominant teams in the AFC, and that is Kansas City and the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna tell you one team that really stepped it up in the draft, and they can put it together with the defense that they have. It could be a 3-way tie quick, and that my sleeper pick is the Denver Broncos. Them jokers, if you saw the picks that they had, the draft picks that they got, I think day 2 and day 3, they had some incredible value picks that can start immediately. So I'm looking at Denver to make a huge leap this year. But
that depends a lot on their quarterback, right?
Yeah, and I think Drew Lock is going to be a worthy quarterback with the weapons that he has now. Because I mean they got some good wide receivers. They drafted a good wide receiver that's fast. They're trying to get faster in that division. Mm-hmm. They have to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs. So they did a number on at the draft.
Gotcha.
Going into the NFC side, I mean you have to. I'm gonna hold off on Tampa Bay. Because I'm not necessarily. It's a new system. It's a new coach. They have to learn each other. Tom Brady and Bruce Arians have to learn each other. I understand that Gronk is coming back, and I understand that. I hear rumors that Julian Edelman might be coming back too. Might be getting traded to Tampa Bay.
So
yes,
but I'm still not convinced that learning a new system in 1 year is going to yield them a championship. I'm just going to
But Bruce Arians is that coach, man. He's a QB coach. He is that guy.
But Tom Brady has been in one system for over 20 years. And so going from one system to another system, and the simple fact that Bruce Arians, even though he's a quarterback whisperer, you have to have an offensive line that can block. And one of the problems that Jameis Winston had when he was there is that he got sacked a lot.
They did take a couple of linemen in the draft.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're gonna build around it. Tom Brady ain't gonna be no sitting duck back there. Trust me.
So this is what I'm gonna ask real quick. Like, is it the Saints or is it the Bucks in the NFC South? Which one are you going with?
I have to go with the Saints because of what they've been able to do. What they've accomplished for the past 2 years. And let's not forget, Jameis Winston went to the Saints. And so he knows Bruce Arians. He can give Sean Payton. He can give him a little bit of insight on what Bruce Arians likes to do. So especially being the quarterback and learning that system left and right. I mean, that gives New Orleans an advantage there. So I think New Orleans is going to come out of that division.
I think Drew Brees is going to look really old this year. That's just my opinion. That's my hot take.
I think Tom Brady's going to look as old as Drew Brees is. That's my hot take.
Well, here's my hot take. I think Brady's going to do okay. I think he's going to be fine, new system or not. I think that Tampa Bay is hungry. They've been trying to win for years. They got their man who they want. I think over time, once Brady figure out that side of the the game, being going to a new conference. Once he figures it out, like he always does, it might take him 2 or 3 games to get the ball rolling. But once he gets going, then every doubter that's saying that he's either too slow or it's a new system, it's a mental thing with Brady. And Brady know how to pick you apart. He got some big weapons out there, and trust me, Tampa Bay is a team you don't want to see coming down the pipeline at the season round week 8, week 9. When it's time for teams to start making a playoff push, Tampa Bay is that team that'll derail you quickly. And they got a proven guy, and they got weapons behind him. So look out for them.
See, I'm gonna hold off on that because I'm still.
We're gonna relive this conversation.
We will, and we will, and I believe that Tampa Bay is going to make the playoffs. But I don't see a quarterback, the system quarterback that's going to another team that has to relearn a different system. Now he has to relearn a completely new system. It's not a Bill Belichick system now. It's a Bruce Arians system. It's a lot. I think it's a little.
He won't have a problem with that. He won't have a problem with learning it. He would not have
I disagree because he's a true system quarterback, and he's known one way for 20 years. Is there going to be ups and downs in that?
I see what you're saying, but I think that Bruce Arians is such a good QB quarterback that he's going to make it fit Tom Brady and what Tom Brady does well. And if they, with Gronk, you got all those short dink and dunks that they're used to doing in New England. So I don't want to crown them too soon because I did that with the Browns last year.
That's all I'm saying. Yes.
But I just
I ain't trying to crown. I'm just telling you what team that you don't want to face around playoff push time, and that's a team that you do not want to see.
Well, I just say I don't want to see New Orleans. I don't want to see Seattle. They're my sleeper pick because Russell Wilson's he's got more weapons. Seattle has done a very good job.
Metcalf is coming back.
They have done a very good job in this draft as well. And Seattle has always been a top notch as far as their level of play, their physicality, everything. So I'm still gonna say Seattle is gonna get up there, and they're gonna be a sleeper team. And my last one, and I hate to say
it. Eagles. Gotta be your Eagles.
No, it ain't my Eagles. My Eagles aren't. I think they're gonna make it as a wild card, but I don't think they're gonna win the division next year. I think Dallas. I think Dallas has a better shot to win it than we do.
Come on, man.
Just sound like Dave. Listen, you sound like Winston right now, man. You know what I'm saying? You sound like Winston. If anybody's going to replace me, I'd rather have the GOAT replace me. Stick to your team, man. Where's your heart at, man?
My heart is with my team.
Where's your heart, man?
I'm just saying
you don't
that.
Pick a rival.
Let me. Can you let me explain? Can you let me explain?
No, I'm not going to.
Are you going to let me explain? Are you going to let me explain? This is what this show is all about. Banter. Let me explain.
You're going to pick a rival over your actual
team. Let me explain. All right. The reason why I'm saying
you got 10 seconds, sir. We're moving on.
The reason why I'm saying that the Dallas Cowboys are probably going to win the division next year, they have most of their team intact. They did not lose anybody as far as like specialty players is concerned. They have Dak. They have Amari. They added CeeDee Lamb, who was one of the biggest, considered the best wide receiver in this draft. They have Michael Gallup. They have I don't know if they have Jason Witten back. I think Jason Witten probably.
Nah, Jason Witten went to the Raiders or something like that.
I think he went somewhere else.
Yeah.
But they still have I still have one of their most the tight end that came back in last year. He's kind of went up the ladder this past year. So they have weapons as for Dak Prescott to throw to. Now they did lose some offensive linemen. They lost their center. But hold on, I'm not done yet. And then their whole defensive line their whole defense came back except for Byron Jones, and they replaced him with that dude from Alabama, guy, Diggs. So
Trayvon Diggs.
So at the end of the day, and let's not forget about the biggest thing of all this. They have an offensive genius now. They have Mike McCarthy.
Listen,
so it's going to get more creative. It's going to get faster. It's going to get much better. So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to come out of the NFC East. Are they going to win in the NFL and in the playoffs? Probably not. But
listen.
Wait. Listen. Real quick. Let him finish. Can you do the AFC faster? Or you already did the AFC, right?
Yeah, he's already done.
Yeah, the AFC's done. I'm done.
You said Kansas City and Ravens. Who else?
I said Kansas City Ravens and the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Okay, got you.
Listen, I'm gonna say this real quick. You have lost your doggone mind saying that, man. All of that is irrelevant, man. You know how many people are watching this right now? You know how many Eagles fans gonna be tweeting you and telling you how crazy you
They are true football fans first. They will say, yes, that is true. Because guess what? We lost all of our wide receivers except for Alshon Jeffries, who's going to be coming back. Everybody's going to be.
All I can tell you is
we lost Jordan Howard, one of our best running backs yet last year. We were injured all over the whole football field. And they're still injured, so we don't know if they're actually going to – the status of all of them going to come back next year. That's all I'm saying, sir.
Chris, if Philadelphia wasn't to boo Santa Claus, what do you think they're going to do to him?
You wish they would boo me.
You just did.
You wish they would boo me. All they're going to do is say
well tonight.
All they're going to do is say, you know what, he right.
Chris,
he right.
Take me somewhere else from this conversation with him. Lord have mercy.
Listen, I've been saying the Dallas Cowboys on paper have been an excellent team for like the last 5 years or so. So I get what you're saying, Hugh. I think CeeDee Lamb is a great addition. I think as long as Dak can actually throw the ball, he'll be okay. But I just don't. They're almost like the Browns. They're just gonna do dumb things. The Dallas Cowboys are gonna do dumb things.
But that was when they had what's his name? Old Clapper, the Clapper coach, as their coach. He's not very creative.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to get his players in the open space. He doesn't know how to coach Dak Prescott very well. Mike McCarthy is different. He's a different coach.
He's definitely a different coach, but I still think the biggest ego in the room is obviously Jerry, and whatever Jerry's going to do is just going to ruin the team. So I root for Dallas simply because I think they have the talent that they should be winning. Plain and simple.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I cannot believe what I'm hearing from you.
I mean, for him to go against the Eagles is crazy. The amount of times that he sings the song and everything like that, I did not think he would root against the Eagles. But this NFL season is shaping out to be a very, very fascinating one. I hope that we actually get to see it in its entirety, all 17 games, 18 weeks now? Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll obviously keep everybody posted on training camp and how those organized team activities continue to move forward. But I think we've kind of reached the ending spot, guys. Anything else you want to add? We turned not a lot of sports news into a pretty decent podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I say this. I got to clown your boy CD
Lamb.
CD player, whatever his name is, the boy out there in Dallas. A Lamb sitting there. Did you see the video with him and his old lady? You snatched that phone back.
Yes. Oh,
so good luck on that. So while you rooting for Dallas, good luck on that.
Who said I was rooting for Dallas, sir?
He was just analyzing the situation. He wasn't rooting for them. He's just analyzing the situation.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Thank you, Chris. He tried to get me run over in Philadelphia right now. That's what he's trying to do.
Listen.
I ain't trying to get run over by Philadelphia. I'm a Philadelphia fan through and through. I'm just speaking facts, sir.
Facts. Okay. Listen, that's one thing that Jerry Jones like the problem child. So he's getting another one out there. That's all I'm saying when it comes to Dallas. For us, Philadelphia, Hubert, I'll never in your life ever want to hear you pick Dallas over your team again, man. Ever.
Hey, I'm a football fan first. I understand the game. And if I want to give honest analysis instead of biased analysis, then I will say which team I think will win. Now, do I hope that Dallas wins? No, I don't hope that Dallas wins. I hope my Eagles win every day, all day, whatever.
That's the Hubert I know.
But guess what? But guess what? That's not the reality. I can say that if I can say right now, if we go play the Baltimore Ravens, we would win. That's a fallacy right now because the Baltimore Ravens have been torching people all season, last season.
You have faith.
That's a fallacy.
I have
you hear that, Randy? That's a fallacy.
I have faith, but at the same time,
he said a fallacy. He brought up the big words.
Is that a new word?
He brought up the big words. That's a fallacy.
And that's a word? Hey,
it is.
Trademark that. Trademark. That's a good word.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That, man. I like that. You give me a shirt that say fallacy on there, bro. I like that.
Yo, now that's a good idea.
That's what's up. Hey, trademark that. Hey, go ahead and write that down because somebody gonna steal that, bro.
All I'm saying is, I stick to facts.
How do you spell fallacy?
I understand.
F-A-L.
You know what? We're done. We're done here. Chris, what did you?
I'm sorry.
Because he clearly don't want to hear what I have to say. The facts that I have to bring up. He clearly don't want to hear it.
Hey, man, we are members of the media, kind of, sort of. So we can't be biased. We can't be homers for our team. Although we will. We gotta look at the field and see who's gonna be out there. I didn't even put my Bengals in the AFC conversation. So you know how it is. You know how we do it. Guys, it's been great talking with you, talking sports. It's been a while. Listen. You guys can find us, all the listeners, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and SoundCloud, as well as some other platforms like Spotify. Please be sure to subscribe, share with your family members, friends, co-workers, so on and so forth. We would appreciate that. Also, go ahead and follow us at YDKJ Podcast. You can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. We're there. If you got an email you want to send and let Hubert know that he should always root for his Philadelphia Eagles no matter what, you can email us ydkjpodcast@gmail.com. And also, please check out our website where we will be blogging. We gotta talk, guys. I feel like we're not blogging enough. We're not utilizing that platform enough. But hit us up, ydkjpodcast.com, where we blog from time to time. Anything else you guys want to add?
I'm stuck on fallacy. I want to trademark that. I don't care about nothing else but fallacy, man.
Fallacy
right
shirts coming soon.
Fallacy, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Fallacy. It's a fallacy.
Fallacy. It's a fallacy world. A fallacy world. A fallacy.
All right, guys.
See, so we just what just happened is we lost
connection.
We lost viewers because we just lost a couple of viewers because we started singing. That's all that happened.
Listen, we always appreciate you guys listening. This is You Don't Know Jack. We are the Outsiders Looking In. My name is Chris Brown.
And I'm Hubert Maitland.
And I'm Randy Horton.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Be safe.